So I realized the SAT wasn't as important to me when I took it. I wasn't that good at standardized testing or being timed when I take my test. So my junior year, I began looking into colleges and figuring out what I wanted to do. And since I don't live in New Haven, I'm not eligible for the New Haven Promise. So either way, I would have to pay for college to some extent in student loans, or my mom would have to put in money for something. So I wanted to find a college that was SAT optional so that I can get accepted and still get money from scholarships, but they didn't have to look at my scores to determine, oh, like she should get accepted or she should get money. So when I did my research, I found Sacred Heart, which was an SAT optional school, and I didn't need my SATs to determine whether or not I can get scholarship money from them, which was good for me. And I knew since my grades were pretty good and I always kept consistent with my schoolwork throughout the year, I knew I can still get into this school, get good money, and not be so caught up in student loans or debt or anything.
So my dream college is UConn. I qualified for the New Haven Promise, but I realized that my SAT score was pretty low, and so were my PSAT scores. So I took Mr. Peterhandel's recommendation of doing 30 minutes or more of Khan Academy before going to bed. And in 3 months, my score went up 100 points. And that led me to acceptances at Eastern, Central, Trinity, Southern, and that's it. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones. Oh, and Quinnipiac. Yeah.
So, in the middle of high school, my dad opened up a dealership. He also opened up a Boost mobile store. He immediately chose me to work for him, which is a good thing because obviously it's hard to find jobs now. So I already had a backup plan. I jumped straight into the workforce while I was 16 years old. Yes, it was under the table, but still it was a job. I worked with him every day after school. I learned what he was doing. So I knew that I wanted to do something that he did, because he inspired me to do entrepreneurship, because not only is he into the cars, he's also into technology. So just like me, I'm into real estate and I'm also into technology, into a bunch of other stuff. So I chose Gateway other than, UConn or something. So once we took the SATs, Mr. Peter Hansel and co, all were talking about the ACT club, and I have friends who went to the SAT club, but they all want to go to big schools like UConn, Central, and obviously I want to go there too eventually. From the jump, I want to go to Gateway, and I knew that because my backup plan, if life failed me, if I studied and it failed me, I would have chose Gateway. If I studied marketing, right, and I couldn't find a job after, let's say, 6 months of getting into college, I know that I could have went to my dad or to any family member and say, hey, can you find me a job? Can you help me with your connections to find a job? Because I know it's a backup plan. So I know that if I failed SATs, I had Gateway as an option because Gateway doesn't really focus on SATs. It's a community college. So that's why my SAT scores, yes, they're pretty high, but yet again, I didn't study. And I know if I studied, I could have got a higher grade, which would have been easier for me to get into higher schools. But I didn't care about higher schools at the moment. I cared about Gateway because I know I want to go to Gateway if I know exactly what I want to do in life.
For my SAT, on the PSAT, I scored around mid 900, and I knew I had to push to 1,000 when I got into the real SAT because I wanted to get into UConn. And UConn's average GPA is around 1,200, so I knew I had to get up there. So my first time taking my SAT, I knew I was already close, so I didn't really study that much. I just took it, and I ended up getting about the same score. I was still in the 900s, so I decided I was going to retake it at the end of the school year, going through pre-calc and studying on Khan Academy. I ended up getting a higher score. I got a 1010, and it was still not 1,200, but since I had good grades and I do a lot of extracurricular activities, I still got in.